Former President John Rawlings tribute by the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He burst onto the scene like a meteor, but a meteor that did not burst into flames and disintegrate like all meteors do. On the contrary, it remained potent until the very end of his life, leaving strong footprints in the sands of time. The turbulent occurrences of the 1970s in Ghana, the overthrow of the Second Republic and the Progress Party government by the military coup of 13 January 1972, the takeover of power by Colonel I.K. Achampon, led by National Redemption Council, and subsequently the Supreme Military Council, the proscription of multi-party democracy, the professional strike of 1976, the March 1978 referendum on the proposal to entrench military rule through the union government concept, the formation of the People's Movement of Freedom and Justice, PMFJ in quotes, to mobilize the no vote in the referendum, the consequences of votes, and the conspiracy to abduct the electoral commissioner, the palace coup that removed General Kutu Achampon from office and ushered in General Fred Akufo in his stead, culminated in the emergence of Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings in the political space of our country. Charismatic, energetic, fearless leader. Such were the attributes ascribed by many Ghanaians in the man, Jerry John Rawlings, the young Air Force officer who announced his presence in Ghana politics by the abortive coup of May 15, 1979, and was sentenced to death for his part in a failed effort. He gave at his trial an important insight into his character when he stood up before the military tribunal to accept sole responsibility for the attempt and to request that NCOs who were being tried with him to be absolved and freed by the tribunal. The great event that were to define his career followed quickly after his trial, conviction, and sentence. 3 weeks later, whilst awaiting execution of his sentence, he was dramatically freed from prison by the insurgents of what has come to be known as the June 4th uprising, when junior officers and other ranks of Ghana Armed Forces banded together to throw out the Supreme Military Council and install the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council, AFRC. Headed by Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings thereafter, JJ to all and sundry in Ghana, it's no wonder that he came to regard June 4th as that divine day. He was re-emerged as chairman of the Provisional National Defense Council, PNDC, when he led the successful coup that brought the short-lived Third Republic to an end on 31st December 1981. The tumultuous and at times lawless incidents of AFRC, 3 months tenure of office, and also early years of PNDC rule are matters of record, winning him passionate admirers, vociferous critics, and determined lifelong enemies all at the same time. He was the longest serving ruler in our history, 11 years as a military leader and 8 years as a twice elected civilian president, making 19 years in all. He was fortified in his work by his union with his celebrated consort, the equally dynamic Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, who proved to be a steady pillar and invaluable companion to the very end, and who bore him 4 children, the eldest of whom is senator, is continuing his tradition of public service. It was no secret that the relationship that existed between the two of us, right from the heady days of 1979, through to my brief period in exile, his assumption of office as the first president of the Fourth Republic, the historic Kumi Preku demonstration, my period as an attorney general, and Minister for Foreign Affairs in the Akufo administration, to being elected 2008 MPP presidential candidate, was one of the open animosity we did not see eye to eye. However, with time, things changed. We came to see value in each other and understood to be a very large degree of respective perspectives. One thing we had in common was our mutual commitment to public service. My visit to his ridge residence in 2012 signified the easing of tension between us, leading to friendship that lasted for better part of some 8 years indeed. When Ghanaian people in 2016 reposed for me in the first time their confidence in me in the election of that year, one of the first person on whom I paid a courtesy call was His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, from whom my entry into office right up to the day he was called by his maker, he remained a good friend and a repository of sound advice. I knew that in the moment of difficulty in my presidency, I could count on his considerable wealth of experience and knowledge. On those occasions, he came through for me. There was a symbolic gesture he advanced to me at the funeral of his late mother, Madame Victoria Gboti, held at the forecourt of the State House on 24th October 2020. It was to be our last time together. He was called up by a clergy to receive special prayers as the only surviving son. He told the men of God to wait and call for me to walk up to join him to receive the special prayers. He whispered to my ears and I stood beside him. I reminded them that they should pray for you also because you also has lost your mother. I was touched by this. It is for good reason that his well-known oft-cited ideals of probity and accountability, in which he invested a great deal of his political capital, has been enshrined in the Constitution of the Fourth Republic, and together with freedom and justice, the words of our nation motto constitute the fundamental principle on which social order is to be developed in Ghana. There are many who acknowledge him as the founder of the Fourth Republic, and a republic which has proved to be the most enduring and stable in our history, and which has witnessed 8 successive elections, 3 peaceful changes of government from one party to another, and 5 presidents for all his revolutionary antecedents he set in 2001. The enviable president, which has since guided our country of respecting the 2-term limit of the presidency and superintendent the orderly transfer of power of his democratically elected successor. Whilst he was with us, he respectfully declined an offer I made to him in 2017 to have the University of Development Studies Tamale, UDS, which he personally helped establish, named after him. His reason was that in adhering to a long-standing principle, he did not want to have any monument of facility named after him. 2 days after his passing at the 21st congregation of UDS, I expressed my strongest conviction, in spite of his reservation, that such an honor should be accorded him. I'm glad that this has found favor with his family, and necessary formalities will be carried out to achieve this. The Jerry John Rawlings University of Development Studies in Tamale. Such is the measure of the man that the days associated with his political interventions in Ghana, i.e. 15th May, 4th June, June 31st December, and 7th January, are now significant days in the calendar of the nation. But the most significant of them, of all, must be 7th January 1993, the day that ushered in the Fourth Republic. It is in recognition of that I decided to commemorate the 7th January as Constitution Day on the national calendar. It's perhaps the greatest tribute a grateful nation can offer to the men and women whose efforts led to the establishment of the Fourth Republic. It is my hope and prayer that he remains forever the longest serving head of state of our national history. For that would mean that the Fourth Republican Constitution and its enshrined terms limited have endured. His actions were not limited to Ghana only, the African nationalist that he was. He had unwavering position in all matters concerning the wider continent of Africa, especially when they involved foreign interference and control of African destiny, and was quick to voice out his views on them. His chairmanship of the ECOWAS Authority of Head of States set example whereby virtually all the successors, John Ajikunkufo, John Dramani Mahama, and I, the 2nd, 4th, and 5th president, respectively, of the Fourth Republic, have been honored by the peers with the occupancy of that high office, reinforcing the Pan-African vocation, which has been an essential element of Ghana public policy since independence. I called him Commandant because of his admiration of the famous Latin American revolutionaries Fidel Castro, Hugo Chavez, and Daniel Ortega, a nickname which seemed to please him. I believe that history, on balance, will be kind to him and will render a positive verdict on his contribution to the evolution of our national and entrenchment, its democratic institution and culture. It is entirely appropriate and fitting that he should receive a state funeral with full honors to express the gratitude of the nation to for that contribution. My wife Rebecca and our press and our children join me in expressing our sincere, heartful condolences to the beloved wife Nana Konadu, his children Ezanato, Yasantua, Amina, and Kemati, and his entire family, for the great loss of one of the outstanding figures of modern Ghanaian history, a man whose sense of humor was truly infectious. Commandant, rest and abide in perfect peace in the bosom of the Almighty until we meet again. Fare thee well. May God bless you. Thank you for all your help. Okay, this is a tribute, President Nana Addo Dankwa, tribute to his comrade, his friend, Flight Lieutenant, former President Jerry John Rawlings. May his soul rest in peace.